Shabbat Shalom umevorach, bruchim habayim. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This week we have Parashat Toldot, and we know we're in the midst of the stories of the Avot, of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And Yitzchak marries Rivka in the end of last week's parasha. She didn't have children for many years. And this week the Torah tells us, the parasha tells us that Rivka got pregnant. And we know very famously that during the pregnancy, Rivka had a turmoil in her stomach. When she used to pass by, the Chachamim say, when she used to pass by the Bet Knesset, she felt kicking. But when she passed by the churches and the Ovdei Avodah Zarah, the houses of worship, she also felt kicking. Like the child wanted to go out and she wasn't sure what was going on. So what did she do? What did Rivka do? Rivka went to the Yeshivat Shem Va'ever. Yeshiva says, the Pasuk says that she went to seek Hashem, to ask the Chachamim, what's going on? I know it's normal for kicking in my stomach, for babies to kick. But why when I go to one place there's kicking, and when I go to another place there's kicking? She goes to the Yeshiva Shem Va'ever, and she asks the Rosh Yeshiva, and the Rosh Yeshiva Shem tells her that you have two nations in your stomach, you have twins. One wants to follow the Torah and mitzvot, which we know was Yaakov Avinu, and one wants to follow the Ovdei Avodah Zarah and the rest of the world, which was Esav. What do we learn from here, Rabotai? From a story that, yes, it's very cute. We learn it when we're children, and we learned how Yaakov and Esav grew already in the stomach. You see what they wanted. They knew what they wanted in their future. We see something very interesting. Who did Rivka go? Rivka had a question. Rivka was pregnant. She didn't know then she had twins. She felt kicking in her stomach, but she realized it was more than the normal kicking as a baby. She walked in on the street, one side and the other side. Who did she go to ask and seek a result? Who did she go to? She went to a Chacham. She went to the Rosh Yeshiva. She went to the Yeshiva Shem Va'ever, where there's people, where Shem Va'ever were sitting and learning Torah the whole day. That's who she said, I'm going to ask my question of my pregnancy. Rivka, in this story, is teaching us, Rabotai, a lesson that we have to take on for life. When we have a question that may not have a simple answer, when we have a doubt, who do we go to get an answer? I'm not talking about when it's an emergency or when it's a serious medical question, but in general, we have many questions in our lives. Some people are learned, less learned. We have many questions. Who do we go to? Rivka's telling you have a question, you go to a Chacham, not a Mekubal, not someone who's famous. You go to someone who sits and learns Torah the whole day. Because there's something called Koach HaTorah, someone who sits and learns the Torah, someone who's a Chacham, a Tamid Chacham, who has the knowledge of the Torah, even though he might not even be an expert in what you're going to ask him in that certain case or scenario. But because he has the knowledge of the Torah and he's closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he has a much bigger chance of giving you the correct answer than someone else. The Gemara in Bava Batar also says, when you have someone sick in your family, you should go to a Chacham and ask him for a bracha, because his zchut of the Torah, when he's learning every single day, will have a much bigger chance to help you out than someone else. Today, it became a style to go to Mekubalim, to go to people for brachot, to go to people who we think are holy or we think are Mekubalim. We have to stand from Rivka. Rivka's telling you, don't go to these people. Go to someone who sits and learns Torah. You want to know who's a tzaddik. You want to know who's a chacham. See who his surroundings are. See what does he do the whole day. There's some people, unfortunately, that they say whatever names they say we're not going to mention, but they're running around, they're busy with different people. They're doing different things. They're advertising. They have social media. Is that someone who you want to ask a question? Is that someone who's a chacham sitting and learning Torah the whole day? You have a question. You want to go to someone who's sitting and learning the whole day, not busy with shtuyot, not busy with mundane things. If you know someone that sits and learns Torah the whole day, someone who's close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who's emet, that's who someone you want to ask questions who sometimes maybe a doctor cannot answer you, or maybe a financial advisor cannot answer you, because this is like seeking HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We have to realize that today there's so many fake things. Anyone could become famous with a few buttons on the phone and a little bit of PR and paying a little bit of here and a little bit of there. Anyone could become famous. Anyone could say, oh, I could do nisim, I could do big things. But we have to stay away from that. We have to be very careful, Rabotai. Whether it's money that's driving them, it's usually money that's driving them, or fame that's driving them. We have to be careful who do we go to. Go to a chacham, go to someone who learns Torah the whole day. Even if he's not that famous, even if he's not on social media, I promise you those chachamim are much better and they're much holier. Someone who sits and learns. We have so many chachamim in our generation, even though unfortunately it's getting a bit smaller. But there's so many tzaddikim who just sit and learn Torah, the koach HaTorah. Once we understand why, what does this rabbi have? What do you mean he just sits and learns? He doesn't know anything. Yes, but because he sits and learns Torah, he's closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And because he's closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu guides him the right way and helps him understand your question and answer it correctly. And that's exactly what Rivka did. Our mother Rivka was teaching us. We had a question. She had a question in her pregnancy. Something didn't make sense. She went to the yeshiva. She didn't go to a Mekubal. She went to the yeshiva where they sit and learn. She went to the Rosh Yeshiva. Rosh Yeshiva, please help me. Please help me understand what's my dilemma. And we know what he told her, that she's going to have 2 generations. And that was Yaakov and Esav. So we have to understand today, Rabotai, it's very easy to get lost, whether maybe you have pressure from your friends or people come into town. Oh, there's someone big, there's someone this, let's go chase him. We have to be very careful. Start with the local people. Go to the chachamim, sitting and learning. Go to the rabbanim that are teaching Torah every single day. And all your yeshuot will be answered. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach.